Alright, this is going to be a playthrough of The Hand of Destiny. This is still a prototype, so you'll see some of the art is missing yet. And some of this might change, but for the most part, this will be the game that's out there without too many more changes. And so let's just get going. I'll try to talk through what I'm doing a little bit and kind of read some of the card text if it's hard to see it on camera. And I'll try not to be too annoying with moving my hands around. I'll try to hold it steady. I know that can get kind of dizzying with an in-hand game. So what you'll do first is you take your 11 monster cards, you flip and rotate and shuffle them, and we'll do that before every round. I'm going to play on normal difficulty, so I'm going to grab the 3 cards from the back, rotate them 90 degrees. Those are my strength cards. I think I want to play, even though the art is not ready yet, I want to play as the Warden. Why don't I go through some of these? These are his 6 abilities here. Maybe I'll just read these really quick in case you can't see them on camera. So the Avenger, he defeats a monster whose instant or front ability has triggered. Throw a sword, 9 damage to the monster in second position. Skilled Rush here. Second row ability is defeat a warrior or damage a monster equal to half its HP rounded down. That's important that it says you're doing damage to the monster, because that means we can't slot that monster after that if we use this skill on it. If it was just reduce its HP or something like that that wasn't actually dealing damage to it, then it doesn't affect it. But if you're using abilities to damage monsters, then that monster can't be slotted when it's defeated. Resourceful. So this is kind of his bread and butter here. Keep the other half of a strength card used in an attack. Then he has 2 stock abilities. Stock abilities are basically free to use, and they are both slot abilities. So remember how I said if we use a normal ability, a non-slot ability, I guess you could call it, that prevents you from slotting the monster when defeated. A slot ability lets you use the ability and still slot the monster. So dual, whoopsie, hit my camera there. Dual Wield is +1 to strength attacks using 2 or more cards. I like that one. And then Crossfire is increase the attack to the front monster by a damage of a warrior in second. So you can see this character he plays well into warriors, so hopefully we see some warriors. I'm constantly going to forget to look for that one. I try to remember, but there are 3 bosses in the game. This is the one that I'm going to go up against here. This is Draxus. And we're going to rotate it to wave 1. Put it in the back behind the strength cards, or behind the deck of monsters in front of the strength cards. I'm going to take since our Warden here is a melee character, indicated by the icon, we're going to grab I'm going to put the ranged merchant card away, and I'm going to use the melee merchant card. That's going to go behind the boss for now until if and when we get a weapon, we'll get to slot that. And then I'm going to just take an extra card, the other character, and put it behind to help support my character card. Okay, take the top monster off, and we're ready to go. I think probably in the first wave, or whenever I see a monster that we haven't seen before, I'll maybe read you the ability. The Basilisk is a creature type. If you take Basilisk's damage, also take the damage of other visible monsters. And then the Minor Giffin, if it gets to the front, we rotate it. And since we're a melee character, we can only attack the front monster with our strength attacks, this is the front monster, this is the second monster, and on down the line. So I'll try to keep as much as I can in frame and in focus. So we have to deal with that 11, and we don't want to take the Basilisk's damage. We don't want to take that 2 damage to just let it go and not have to defeat it. So I have an 11 or a 12 there. That's perfect. I'll use that. So that 12 defeats that 11. Since we used a strength attack, we get to slot the defeated monster. So we get to keep that 11. That was actually pretty efficient. That was nice. Okay, now since the minor griffin is in front, it rotates per its ability, and it becomes just a regular griffin. Add HP equal to total damage of other visible creatures and avians. So the only other visible monster here is an avian. So add HP equal to total damage. So here's the damage of the other visible creatures and avians. So that means Griffin's HP is now 10. I think we'll just spend that 11. That wasn't horrible, but you can see our strength is already waning. Okay, the harpy's now in front. Add HP equal to its position in line. So now it's in front position, so its HP would equal 9. And then the phantom. Front. So when it's in front, strength cards are half value rounded up against phantom. This is a very difficult card, especially for melee characters. And you can see my throw sword ability there is 9 damage to second monster, or else I would use that because I hate to see that. It's an undead type. I don't have any abilities against undead types. Okay, so that'll probably just be brutal. That's a 9. Shucks. It would have been nice if I could have defeated that with an 8. I don't really have anything that's going to help. Shucks. I'm going to have to burn my 2 7s to defeat that 8 since it's a 9, and then it goes back to its base value once it's slotted. Okay, that is scary because we're not too far into the wave, except I remembered one thing here. So this has a front ability that has now triggered, and I forgot my Avenger ability there. Defeat a monster whose instant or front ability has triggered. That's a no-brainer. This is such a damaging card to my strength, so I'm going to... I'm sorry about my camera focus here. Let's see if I can... Well, hopefully that just gets better, but we'll just try to get through. I don't want to deal with that ability, so I'm going to exhaust this Avenger ability. You can activate character abilities 2 ways. You can discard a strength card, or you can exhaust it, or you can do both. You can discard a strength card to use it once, exhaust it to use it again. So I'm just going to exhaust it, hoping that it doesn't come up again that I want it, and so I'm just going to go ahead and defeat it that way. There we go, a little better focus. Sorry. Hopefully that stays okay here. This is the Hobgoblin. Add 3 HP for every monster you defeat before Hobgoblin. Shoot. So we did defeat that the monster prior to this while Hobgoblin was visible. So now Hobgoblin is now up to 8 HP. Let's check Spectre's ability here. Increase HP by base HP of monster behind. Wow, we are getting the difficult monsters this wave. Okay, so he's an 8. I guess we'll just have to do it. This is not... One thing I'm going to keep in mind is my resourceful ability. So keep the other half of a strength card after use in an attack. I'm just going to always try to remember to peek at the other half of my strength cards, and I might use it now. I think I'm going to exhaust that, use it now, and I get to keep this one that I just used instead of discarding it, and keep the other half since that was a good number here. So, okay. Doing a little better again, except increase HP by 5. So that's, what's that? 12. And then if you take damage while Golem is visible, take +1 damage. So we don't... You always have the option of letting the front monster attack you and then discard it. So we could take 2 damage, which means exhausting 2 abilities to let this one go by. But we don't want to do that because this Golem says he's just going to do 1 for good measure if we take this damage. So what did I say that was? 7, 12. Goodness. Oh, do I have any abilities that are going to help? Any warriors out here? No. Okay, we'll just burn the 8 and the 5. I don't like that, but my goal is to not die this wave. Okay, instant. Instant abilities trigger once and they trigger right away. Rotate another visible monster. So let's hope that's nothing bad. Sea Dragon. +1 HP for every strength card currently slotted that is a 9 or higher. I have a 10, so that means that 7 becomes an 8. Shoot! So then I can't use that 7 anymore. Man. Okay. Could I let it by? That's 2 damage that I don't want to take. Man, whatever. Okay, we'll spend this 10 to kill that 7. Okay, there's the boss. So this is our last enemy here. Rotate another visible monster. Oh, we already did that. Gosh. How badly do I not want to have to deal with that 4? Man, if I just let it go by, I can beat it outright. Oh, no, I can't. Shucks. Okay, whatever. I'll just spend it. Okay, now we're in the boss fight. I brought a 7 and a 4 to the fight, and 1, 2, 3, 4 health. Okay, let's see what we can do. The boss's ability, so this is a wave 1 boss. Cut the value of your lowest strength card in half, rounded down. So this 4 becomes a 2. So I can't beat it outright with strength because I'm only sitting at 9. Need to get to 13. I can see the penalties here are taking 2 damage, losing 4 gold. I don't want that to happen, and I miss out on the reward, which is 4 gold. We're going to end up needing to use critical hits. This column is how much strength you have to spend to use the critical hit. Sometimes it's 0, which is just a dot. And this is how much damage the critical does. And this is how much damage you have to take. So thematically, it's like you're kind of taking a risk, opening yourself up to taking a wound by getting in close enough to get a critical shot on the boss. And thereby magnifying your strength. Goodness. So this is a 2. This is virtually useless. I might as well hang on to it. If I end up with any strength cards, I get to keep the gold also. Okay, I gotta get to 13. Here's my 7. That's not a super great critical hit. I could magnify that to 11. Well, heck, that would get me there. So that's one way I could do it. I could spend this 7, take 1 damage. That gets me to 11. Then I could spend this 2 to get me to 13. And that would just do it. I wouldn't get any gold from here, but I'd get 4 gold from here. And then I would have 3 damage on me, and that would heal me up. I think I'm just going to do that. I can't see a better way to do it, because this 10 damage would be fairly devastating. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend this 7 first and take the 1 damage. And that gets me to 11, 12, 13 by spending that 2. It was a 4, if you remember, but the boss ability said we had to cut that in half. I'm really sorry about my focus here. There we go. Okay, so I have 3 damage on me. I gain the 4 gold. That's wave 1 boss defeated. That's actually not bad considering how bad that wave started. I already know what I'm going to do since I have kind of the cost of the potions memorized. I'm going to use a large healing potion, cost of 4, to heal up 3. That heals me to full health. I could forego some of that healing to like buy a basic level weapon. I would rather be at full health to have more options with my abilities. That's just kind of how I'm feeling. So Shuffle these. Hey, live to fight another wave. That didn't go too bad. The bosses do get harder every wave, so it would have been nice to kind of to get a weapon so that we could grow in strength a little bit. There are some potions too that can kind of boost you at the start of the wave, but we couldn't afford any of those. Okay, we'll do our regular setup here. That's on wave 2. Since we didn't buy a weapon, I'll just put that in the back as well. Here is our helper holder card. And then we get to start at full health. Not too bad. Okay, the Wretch. Take 1 damage if Wretch is defeated when not in front. That's fine. It's in front. Gelatinous Cube. Monsters behind Gelatinous Cube cannot be attacked. We'll worry about that later. So I need to defeat a 5. I'll use my 6. Okay, I can't attack that one anyway, so we'll worry about that later. I have an 8 in front. I hate to be that inefficient. I can't see anything that's going to be super helpful here, though. Okay, we'll spend the 8. Or we'll spend the 11 for the 8. Kelpie is a creature. Kelpie's health equals that of the highest HP monster visible, which would be the assassin. So Kelpie is effectively an 8 health monster now. Front, only 1 time, take 1 damage and move assassin to second. That's a tough monster to face as a melee character. Since we can't do much about it now, except that we can, I'm going to go ahead and exhaust our throw sword ability to do 9 damage for the second monster. Well, I guess it wouldn't have mattered too much, since I would have taken some damage either way. But I'm going to do that. I would have taken a damage anyway. Okay, there's that minor Giffin again. That's not so bad. I've got that 8 there, but I need to worry about this 6 first, which I will take care of with that 7. And Kelpie is now the highest HP monster visible. That was a bit of a risk. I'm glad that that turned out to not be like an 11 or something. So if I had seen that, I might not have taken that risk. So that worked out. Sometimes you get lucky. Minor Giffin rotates based on its ability. Watcher, rotate visible cards behind Watcher to the higher HP monster. We'll worry about that when there are any visible cards behind it. That 8, we get to be efficient here and defeat it with an 8. Okay, the Watcher says rotate this card to the higher HP monster, but you can see that's a 10, that's an 8, so it's already on the higher half. It's a vampire. It's a warrior. Take 1 damage if you use an ability while vampire is visible. So let's hope it doesn't come to that. That's a 7. We'll spend our 8. There we go. Strength attacks are not abilities, obviously, so we're good so far on the vampire's ability. Phase Worm. Flip all other visible monsters. So now the Horde is in front. +3 HP for each visible warrior. This is itself a warrior. I wish that had shown up when it was in position 2, because we might have benefited from that. But as it stands, it's not too bad. We'll spend that 5. Except we've got a bunch of little cards now. I feel like we're sort of bleeding out here. But there's the boss, so we already resolved that instant. There's a 7. Fine. I think this is fine. Hopefully if this goes okay. So looking at a 15, but cut the value of your highest strength card by its damage value. Well, that's kind of painful. So our highest strength card is a 7. -2 is 5. So what does that total up to? A 6 and 4 is 10, plus 5 is 15. Hey, Not bad. I think we'll just do it. So we can get this. We don't even have to use any critical hits. Well, that was a good wave. We can spend just all our cards to defeat that monster. Or the boss. And we get the gold, which I wrote in a 6 there. I think that will likely be rebalanced to a 6. So we end up getting 6 gold. I'm going to spend... I want to heal up completely. So I'm going to spend a small healing potion to heal completely. So now we're there. And what are we left with? We had 6. Now we're left with 5. Let's go shopping. You can buy the base level weapon, but to buy the upgraded version of that weapon, you have to already own the base level. So let's look at the bases here. 2, 4. I kind of want to buy the sword just because I'm a warden, and that just seems like what I would do. So I'll spend 2 of that, and what did I say? I had 5, so I can spend 3. I think I want to either spend the rest of it on a strength potion or a potion of illusion. I can't afford that. So we'll spend it on the strength potion. So what did I do? I bought the sword, and I bought the strength potion, which is flip your lowest strength card at wave start. Sometimes that's risky, but I think we'll go ahead and do that. Not too bad. Going into wave 3. Okay, let's do the boss first. Okay, we ended up at full health. I get to slot my sword, which is +2 to a strength attack. Weapons they're not like abilities where you disqualify your defeated monster from getting slotted, so they are quite nice to have. Okay, Rust monster. Front, discard a strength card of your choice. Shoot. That is bad luck. Oh, I forgot about my I bought a potion that said flip your lowest strength card. Let's take care of that first. There's a 4. Changes to a 6. Come on. Focus. Okay, anyway, it's a low health monster, and I also have to discard a strength card. I don't think I have anything to help with that. Goodness. Okay. Rough start. I'll get rid of one of my 6s. And I think instead of dwindling that 6 down to a 3, I'm going to do my Avenger ability that says I can defeat this since the front ability triggered. And that way I'm also kind of opening myself up to exhausting my resourceful ability to gain a strength card. So I know that probably seems a little counterintuitive to take that damage for that small of a monster, but I'm kind of saving myself some strength here and also opening up my options later. Okay, Spectre, we're familiar with this one, so that's a big number, goodness gracious. So that adds to that 11, and that's like an 18, which I could do, but I don't want to do that. So what am I going to do? That's a dragon in second. Oh, I'm going to take the damage. I'm going to take the 2 damage. This is not a very impressive start from the Warden. Okay, take 1 damage if you use an ability while Vampire is visible. Won't need to. Because we have an 11. Nice. And I like the look of this. So that vampire is a 10. Add 3 HP for every other visible dragon. Don't need to worry about that right now, at least. Okay. Okay. Still got our weapon. We still got our favorite ability over here. Or at least the one that might help this time. Not doing too bad. Oh, there's that assassin again. Oh, man. And I don't have my one that can... Oh, that's frustrating. Okay. There's no other visible dragons. That's a 9. My crossfire ability, increase attack by 2, or by the damage of the warrior in second. So that's a warrior. I could increase this to a 7. That's what I'm going to do, because that's a 7 per my stock ability, since that's a warrior. And then I could spend my sword, plus 2 to a strength attack, to get to 9. And then we just did a little bit of magic to turn our 6 strength card into a 9. So I'm happy with that. We're not doing too bad after that difficult start there. So there's the assassin in front. The Wraith. Wraith cannot be defeated by just one strength card. Ugh. Oops, and I forgot to discard my weapon here. I will worry about that in a minute. So the assassin can be defeated with this 9. Gotta be getting to the end of the wave here. Okay, Basilisk. If you take Basilisk damage, also take damage of other visible monsters. I think we've seen that. So cannot be defeated by just one strength card. So either an ability or waste both of those. What's on the other half of this? An 8. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to... Shoot. That's 2 damage. I don't want to take 2 more damage. That about kills me. What's on the other half of that? An 8. About this one. 10. Shoot. That 10 wouldn't be enough, so I would be... Oh, but I don't want to take... Oh, wait, no. That's if you take Basilisk's damage. I might honestly... Well, no, because that 11... That 11's going to force me to use both of these anyway. We might be in trouble here, so... Man. Okay, so we're going to spend both of these to defeat that 9 just because of the ability. I think I'm going to exhaust Resourceful and keep the other half of one of these that we just spent. So I'll keep the 10. And then discard this one. Hopefully this is the last monster. It feels like it should be. Yep, there's the boss. Okay. And we don't have an 11. Oh, that's frustrating. We're 1 away. We are wasting so much. And you know what? Oh, goodness. So there's no critical hits this wave that don't require applying any strength. If I come in with just the 1 strength card, I think we're going to die. How can we get out of this? I don't think there's a way out of this. Can't take his damage because that kills me because he's a 2 damage. Okay, I'd rather die at the hands of the boss than this Basilisk, so I'm bringing an 11 to the fight. You may not combine strength cards for critical hits. It doesn't apply to us because we only have the 1. And my 11 is not an 18, and I have no way to turn it into an 18. I could do that 9 critical hit. if I had 3 damage to take, which I do not. I do have 1 damage to take, and I could turn this 11 into a 12, but that doesn't get us there either. So, okay, well, we made it to the end of wave 3. Wave 4, maybe we'd have had better luck, but we didn't quite do it. Okay, well, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that playthrough.